Hello, fellow YouTubers, journeyers, path walkers. My name is Lacey. This channel is currently Lucia Lucius. That comes from light. I went through a little phase where I really dove into everything about light, the way it plays, the way it shines, the energy it gives constantly. And I'm hoping that this channel ends up being one of those light beams that gets just broadcasted to whoever is willing to receive it. So this is my first YouTube video in this manner. I have a couple different goals as far as what I hope that this channel is going to become, my intentions behind it. I truly want to reach out and connect with people who are, journeying this lovely, beautiful, crazy path called life. And the spiritual side of it as well. Spirituality is so important to me and my life. It helps me connect with the world around me. And I believe that it is a really useful tool in helping to see the beauty in everything, understanding cyclical natures, because that's what all this is. It's, one big circle. Yeah, I'm hoping to help empower others, whoever's coming across these videos, in finding healing in everyday plants like the bramble that I am sitting right next. This is a super, super meaningful spirit and plant ally to myself. Bramble has helped to guide me through a very, very intense descent into my inner world and inner map, which, as above, so below, as within, so without. So really, once I started to kind of fall into the world around me as a reflection of myself, I noticed so many amazing, big, different synchronicities that really just helped me fall further and further into myself, which led to me coming out of my shell, honestly. And that's kind of the point we're at right now. My first YouTube video, where I want to share the things that I have learned that have helped me in my life. These are tools. They're not rules. And this is my offering to the world around me. It is my way, not the way by any means. Excuse me while I cry a little bit. Let me just catch my breath and see where we're at here. One of my gifts to you is hoping to help you feel held by the earth and guided by your own roots. Because your roots, everybody's roots. The plant's roots, your roots, my roots. They are not a weakness. That is where your power is. That is where I have found my power. Miss Bailey. Kitty, kitty. She's my wild one. She loves being outside. Okay. And I do have a notebook here because I took notes on the things that I want to tell you guys, the things that I want to share. And I am trying to be, you know, I want to be open. I want to offer openness to you guys. I don't expect to receive openness if I'm not offering that to you and offering that from this channel. My intention is healing through connection and reflection. Through reflection. I do believe that some of the most potent healing comes from learning how to sit with ourselves, sitting in a place of love so that we may listen and offer company to ourselves, and not just ourselves but the world around us, because I do believe that learning to sit with ourselves and our feelings and the world around us is often better done through community. It's through witnessing and seeing ourselves reflected in other people, where their stories sound like, you know, when someone's telling a story, you can be inside of yourself and think, hey, you know, I feel that, I understand that, and I can relate to that. And that helps each person get through each obstacle, or, you know, work through the things that they're experiencing. It's hard to do it alone. It's so hard. And that's what we're all here for. And that's what I want to do here with this channel. I believe that this channel can and will be a place, can and is and will continue to be a place where both softness and strength can coexist harmoniously. It is okay to be soft and to feel and to be connected, so connected to everything that it's intense, you know? But with that, we have to be careful not to lose ourselves. We have to have the strength with that so that we don't just lose ourselves in the world around us. This is a place where it is safe to be exactly who you are in whatever season of your life that you're in. Truly. I'll also be sharing my personal education and background on backyard foraging, and communicating with the plants and the spirits that are with us all the time, all around. I'm going to move the camera just a little bit. The sun's a bit hot. And take a drink of my water. My mint water with mint from my garden. Which is like, mint is an invasive species. So, whoops, camera was falling. So once mint starts growing, it goes and goes and goes and goes. It's powerful, it's strong, and its willpower is, you know, something to be honored. Now the brambles are gonna entangle me and catch me in their little web of thorns. Okay. So yes, I'll be sharing some backyard foraging education. This is personal information. I do not have any kind of professional experience, but I have spent years learning about these plants, and in my opinion, personal experience is valuable. It's worthy. That's what I have based a lot of my own education on, was personal experience of other people, and then using their experiences as models in my own life, where I would go out and be with the plants and learn about them and educate myself on them, use them, you know, meet them to try to understand them and understand the world around us. I will also eventually, possibly in this video later on, be doing things like collective readings with oracle cards. This is my seed and sickle deck that I use regularly. I had purchased this deck at a market, and shortly after I did that, I had done a reading for myself, and Bramble came up. Now, I didn't know Bramble by the name Bramble when I did this reading, so I took a dive. I went online, I was searching, and I'm big into learning like the mythological stories, the mythical stories, and the magical properties. It's very prevalent in my life. So that's one of the first things I went to. And I learned a lot of different stories about the bramble and its protective qualities and the hidden sweetness and entanglement. I learned so much. That was a large reflection of my own personal life. And very shortly after I had gone through that little mini cycle, it started getting warm here in the northeast of the United States. And when that happens, when spring and summer comes, we get brambles. So I started to notice around my home a literal wall, border, dare I say, border of brambles just surrounding my property, as if Spirit and myself had co-created this protective wall around myself, my family, and my life, my home that I cherish so much. My home here that we currently live in means so much to me. I am so connected to the plants and spirits here, and I'm so thankful to have been able to live this experience. It's something that I am going to hold dear to my heart for a very, very, very long time. Excuse me while I hydrate, while dehydrating myself with tears. So that's, I have loved plants for quite some time, many years. It seemed almost like a naturally occurring thing to me. It felt so natural to just fall into the plant and animal world, because they coexist with us every day, every night. They're here. It's not just us that is here on this planet. It is everything else too, everything else. So it felt so very natural for me to want to have a relationship with these plants. And because I have always been, well, since roughly like middle school and younger, elementary and middle school, I've been a lover of the fantasy world, the mythological world, the magical world. My favorite movie is, well, one of my favorite movies, I have a couple of them, but one of my first favorite movies is Practical Magic. And if anybody has ever seen that movie, it's a movie about two sisters who are witches. They come from a family of witches, and their lineage is cursed. So it's about these these two witch sisters navigating their family curse, and it's a beautiful movie. It stars Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman and some other big names you probably know that I can't name off right now. But if you haven't seen it and you're into things like that, I highly, highly, highly suggest watching it. It's an amazing movie. And that movie and the rituals in their life, the way they do their everyday life, is a dream life that I have had since seeing that movie. And I've held on to it and honored it and slowly worked to it, while at the same time delaying my gratification in a multitude of ways, which that's something we can get into later. But this home here is the closest emanation of that movie, that lifestyle, living magically, living an embodied magical life. And it is this place. And I want to honor it. This video, this YouTube channel, kind of putting these spirits that have helped guide me to this and through this on display is my offering. And I hope it's well received. I'm having fun already. I also am into the runes. So we might even be pulling some of those in this video. If it doesn't happen in this video, just know that oracle card pulling and rune pulling is on the menu. We might be doing those here. Sorry, we will be doing those here. We will be. They're gonna look like collective readings, seasonal readings. I am also hoping to offer different types of lessons and rituals for connecting with the land around you, with your body and your spirit. It's gonna look a lot like learning to be still, opening your heart from a loving place so that you are better able to listen to all of the different messages that are coming through. That intuitive listening, that intuitive knowing and understanding that is within all of us. It is there. It might be deep down and buried and hidden and asleep and hurt even. It might feel betrayed. But throughout, this channel, I will be helping to guide you through ways that you can honor that part of yourself and help it to come back out and feel brave enough to share its voice, because it knows that it's going to be listened to. And then eventually, because I'm not trying to bombard you guys or myself, keep an eye out for, I just saw a really pretty butterfly. Keep your eye out for an emailing list, a website, and even a Patreon that has deeper content behind the scenes, and a growing circle, of people who are looking for a community, or who are guided to open themselves up to this type of spirituality with someone like myself. And as always, if this space, if it offers comfort, if you're happy here, if you feel good here, and you want to hear more, I invite you to sit and stay and hang out. I also am opening a monthly 4-week container. Now this one is just beginning. I'm about a day late, I actually didn't expect to start this YouTube video right here, right now, today, but when it hits, it hits. So I am starting a 4-week container. It's going to be held here And each week will look a little different. So what we will be doing, so I'm going to refer to my notes again. It'll be like a seasonal spiral that we walk together. There will be themes. They'll be tied to the land, your body, and your spirit. We'll often pull cards, sit with a plant or a blend that I have made myself. I'm out here, out in my yard all the time, talking with the plants, intentionally harvesting them and making blends and oils. Oils are very important to me right now. I have a bunch sitting right now that are infusing. Those will be ready around the full moon, and I'm so excited to use those. Okay, we will explore ways to listen to more deeply what's blooming, fading, or transforming for yourself. It's slow, it's intuitive, and it is open to all. I believe I'm going to call them Wildroot rhythms. My oil blends that I'm making, the name Wildroot Warrior had come through for me when I had started making these blends, and I think I'm really gonna stick with the Wildroot title. A lot of the things we do here will be based off of that. We are wild and we are rooted, and that's how we hope to stay. So this will be called Wildroot Rhythms. The first week here, I think, to give you a sense of what these 4-week containers are going to look like, this first week is all about rooting into yourself and rooting into the soil around you and rooting into safety. We'll walk with one of my beloved plants, backyard plants. I had learned about this plant a while ago, but I had actually just started hands-on working with it yesterday. Burdock. Here in a minute, I will walk around the yard and find another burdock plant so that you can get a good look at it. But it opens the first rhythm with grounded defiance and quiet strength. Burdock roots deep. Like if you have ever even seen like a dandelion root, imagine bigger and deeper. Drawing nourishment from places others often overlook. And that reminds us that healing often begins in the dark, beneath the surface, in the body's slow rhythms. This is not a rigid program. It is a living invitation, inviting you in to something soft for you to be able to return to when the world is too loud. We'll walk a spiral of remembering together. Burdock is a blood purifier, a liver tonic, and it offers skin support. You can use burdock leaves and root as teas, tinctures, tonics, oil infusions. That's what I'm currently doing with mine. I had harvested burdock leaf and root yesterday, scrubbed the roots real good, peeled them a little bit and sliced them up, and they're currently drying. Once they finish up drying, which it's going to take a little bit because, like I said, the root was big and it held a lot of moisture, a lot of water in the roots, which is a good thing. You want to keep those waters down in there. You're going to keep those waters flowing through the roots. Sliced it up, they're currently drying, so that'll take a couple days, a week or so. Once that's done doing that, I'm going to put it in a jar, fill it about 1/3, halfway filled with just the roots, and then I'll put oil, most likely olive oil. That's one that I've been working with. It's a very ancient oil, helps connect you to your ancestral lineage, and not just bloodline ancestry, immediate ancestry, but like ancestor spirits that are here among us, plant spirits, the ones that are old and wise and know a lot and have things to share with us. Well, I'll mix those and then I'll let it sit in a cool, dark place for at least 2 weeks. And lately I've been kind of interfering at about the 2-week mark and adding another layer of infusion. It makes it stronger, more aromatic. Whew. I'm sweating. So burdock says to us, stay, dig in. Your root is not a weakness, it is your power. Okay, I think we are going to do a oracle card pull. Let me take a drink quick. Take some slow, deep breaths, and I invite you to take these slow, deep breaths with me. As you breathe in, imagine the air around you swirling. Breathing deep into your lungs. And the air swirling out. You can imagine that you hear water close by. If you're unable to hear mine, I hope you can hear the water. And the birds, they're here with us. They've been chatting and chatting. Two dragonflies just landed on my leg. Alright, and breathe out. Alright, I'm hoping that deepens our connection. This card pull, it's going to be for the collective regarding burdock. Maybe it is going to show us what is anchoring you right now, and what is asking to be rooted, because maybe that's what burdock is telling us. With its large root, its anchor, its safety. What is anchoring? What is anchoring the collective? Got one jumping out right away. And a lot coming through. Beautiful, beautiful. The first two cards to jump out as I was shuffling. The seed. This is similar to the fool. It's the first card in the oracle deck. It speaks of beginnings. You see that root? Can it get any more synchronistic? Beautiful. This is speaking on intention. Your root as it is. That is what is anchoring you, is the will, your drive, where the flow comes from. And here we have another beautiful card. Whoops. Magnolia. And that one has the number 8 on it. And in numerology, often the number 8 reminds me of fast messages, communication, instant, the infinity symbol, circles. It is speaking to me of being in a loop pattern and breaking free from that old loop and pattern to make a new. And then honestly, I think I'm going to put all these cards in. Not that they are not valid. They are so very valid. I do see a story here. Let's see if we can go through them. It's just a lot. It's a lot. You guys ready for a longer than 30-minute video? We have Asphodel here. 30. 30 may be a confirmation for somebody. Moonwort, Mandrake, and even these three here alone. This is speaking on meeting yourself, unlocking the depths of your root and the fate that was once woven in there, woven into your roots. And it's not that you can't. You may reweave your fate, absolutely. You may go back into your roots and rewrite your story. You don't have to follow the narration that once was yours or that somebody tried to put on you. You don't have to follow that narrative anymore. You are able to go within and unlock parts of yourselves that are wanting to come out again. You're able to do that. Ragwort, again with the messages. Ragwort is big on messages. Healing, even. The dandelion. 33. Look at how beautiful. 33 is a very deep number. It's the you have 33 vertebrae, I believe. That is the basis. It is another root. It is your foundation. But it's bright, it's dandelion. Absolutely. Hawthorn. 27. This is very ancestral, very first waters. This is also speaking of the root, and if you look, it kind of just looks like an inverted root up there, and the berries of the hawthorn and everything, they're around the tree, as if to say, your roots, once you air your roots out and let them come out, and you see them for what they offer, they will meet you. The offerings and the blessings and the blooming, they will meet you. Bracken, another 3. I don't know if this is focusing for you guys or not. I apologize. 33 on the clock as we finish the series of 3s up. Nice. Bracken is fern. And if you look, this little light here, oh my gosh, I can't tell if you guys can see this or not. There is a little beam of light. It honestly almost looks like a bean, like a little lima bean or something. But I believe this is speaking on your hidden light, your hidden inner truth, your hidden seed. Bracken ferns are known for, they're mischievous for not being understood. They're very magical. You don't see fern's seed. fertilized by spores, actually. So they will grow the spores and then release them. But, you know, they're so tiny, they're almost invisible. They are invisible to the eye. And this is, you know, even though it seems as invisible, it is there. It is there waiting for your hand to meet it, so that it may become the seed, and it may become the magnolia. It's just waiting. We have Lily of the Valley. It's number 2 card. This reminds me of the Lovers. It reminds me of balance and watering your well to keep those creative and life-giving waters flowing. Like I had mentioned earlier with watering the roots and the burdock root, holding all of that moisture. You know, if the root is just holding the moisture and it's just staying there and being stagnant, you're going to experience rot. You're going to experience mold and stagnation. It is so important that once the waters are collected, that they be used and they continue to flow through. So important. Belladonna. 2020. This is speaking to me of using your power within. From my understanding of belladonna, it's a very, very potent plant. It can be poisonous and toxic, if not just simply is poisonous and toxic. I believe it's often related to witches and witchcraft and magicness in general. But even just the imagery here is speaking to me on not just using your hands, but the tools around you, the tools that are available to you. But also like a hen, using clippers, using shears. You know, it's different tools. It's tools that you didn't know that you could use, tools that you didn't know were right in your hands. And last but certainly not least, we have clover coming in with on number 19. 10, ending of a cycle. And if you see here a 4-leaf clover, and this is synchronistic for me, I have to admit, sharing my own personal, this morning when I was kind of mulling over starting the YouTube video today. I hope you guys can see this clearly. I'm trying to get it laid out flat. I was sitting in my yard where I like to spend quiet time, and spend some time with myself and do some thinking. And let me see if I can get it better. How can I show this better to you guys? And I found a 4-leaf clover. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just trying to show you my 4-leaf clover. Maybe I'll even maybe even help you to see the world around me a bit. There we go. Bring you into the shade. You see the lovely 4-leaf clover. I'm really hoping you guys can. I'm gonna watch this video back and it's gonna it'll be like you guys can't see the 4-leaf clover at all. A 4-leaf clover. Again, I really hope you guys can see this. But yes, this is prosperity. This is abundance. This is luck, divine timing. It's worth it. Pulling all of these cards tells me that the journey that you are on, the journey you're beginning right here, right now, is worth it, is prosperous. You are going to feel joy from this. You are going to feel happiness from this. You are going to see growth and abundance from this. I promise. And I really, really, really don't like to promise these types of, promise anything, but that type of thing, I will promise. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that it is all butterflies and rainbows, and sometimes it is henbane and belladonna and bramble. I'm gonna ask one more card. Is there any other last message that wants to come out for whoever's watching this video, and whoever's connecting with me right now? Any last messages for the collective here? I feel like after that, honestly, it's speaking to me that there's really no more other cards to pull. It's a beginning, middle, end story of you. Here we go. Here's a card. Beginning the dive into your roots. Mistletoe. And again, the numerology, this card number is 48. Here we have, so 48 to me is 4 plus 8, 12, 1 plus 2, 3. We've come through with another 3 here. This is starting to look a bit more like this is speaking to me on not understanding the tools that you're using and how harmful they can be. Looks like you may even be cutting your own toes off here because you're not understanding how sharp these blades are. And when you lay the blades down, you're able to understand that you've been the tool all along. And the birds agree. I think, okay, so that's enough cards. I want to pull one rune. One rune. Okay, if there is a message here for the collective and people sitting here watching this video with me. Protection. The elk, sedge, or eelgrass. I'm going to read from the book here. Now, in the book, it's number 10, and the information is found on page 111. A lot of ones. A lot of ones. Alright, this rune is called Algas, and I apologize for the pronunciation if I'm wrong, which I probably am. Okay. Protection, sedge or rushes, the elk. Control of the emotions is at issue here. During times of transition, shifts in life course, and accelerated self-change, it is important not to collapse yourself into emotions, the highs as well as the lows. New opportunities and challenges are typical of this rune, and with them may come trespasses and unwanted influences. Again, this is speaking of the belladonna that I picked up on then. Algas serves as a mirror for the spiritual warrior, the one whose battle is always with the self. The warrior's protection is like the curved horns of the elk or the warning rustle of the sedge grass, for both serve to open space around you. Remain mindful that timely right action and correct conduct are your only true protection. If you find yourself feeling pain, if your toes are caught in the blades, stay with it. Do not try to pull down the veil and escape from life by denying what is happening. You will progress knowing that is your protection. And that's what we plan to do here. That's what I plan to do here. Helping to guide you guys through being able to sit there and listen and feel and name and communicate with that feeling. Find out what's going on and where to take it, how to compost those feelings and make anew. I really appreciate, I'm gonna take a drink. That was a lot. I really appreciate you guys sitting here with me. It's been beautiful. I didn't expect this video to be so long. I honestly thought that I was going to struggle and make a 5 to 10 minute video and there would be just a lot of not even actual communication, just a lot more thinking and mulling over. But thank you guys for being here with me so much and starting this journey with me. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to all of this. Thank you so much. I'll give you a little closing shot here of my location and the waters around me. This is my oasis. My brambles. And show you some berries. Be able to see them and bring you a little bit closer to this water here. Alright, guys, stay grounded and dig in.